Hey houseplant friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Reed's here, say hi Reed.
Hello.
Reed's here. Today I'm going to tell you about my least favorite houseplants of 2019. Controversial opinion warning, I made one of these last year. I'll link it in the description so you can go check it out. You know, I feel like this year I became a lot more accepting of houseplants. Like even if I didn't kind of like something, I wouldn't generally despise it like I would last year. Like last year I think the really bane of my wrath was the Raphidophora tetrasperma. I hated that plant last year. And now I love it. It stays alive for me. Really, I feel like that's how people decide what plants they like or don't like. It's like, can I keep this alive? Please make sure that you like and subscribe. Maybe you've been binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. And other than that, let's just jump into the news.
Never that.
Never that. So, I have 10 plants here that I just don't really love. I wonder if I have any of them here so I can like take a thumbnail photo.
Here's a plant I hate.
I mean, okay, so the first plant we're gonna start with is Philodendron Birkin. This one bothers me unless it's like a red variegated Birkin, and then I don't mind it, and in some cases it can actually look kind of cool. This was like the it plant for 2020. It was everywhere, and it started off with a price tag of like $300 at the beginning of the year, and now you can get them for $5 at your local Fred Meyer's. So it's just like, what the heck was that? Tissue culturing experiment gone wrong. I hope that's not what happens with all the other plants that end up getting kind of like mass produced and tissue cultured, but I guess we'll never know. Oh, and the other reason I don't like it is because a lot of the time, like the Birkin like variegation is really suspect to me because it comes in with like these lines I've never seen on any other plant before, and I've seen other people speculate that it's like actually a virus. So I don't know. I do have a variegated Birkin that I personally really like. It doesn't grow for me though, which is weird, but the normal Birkins and just like the hype around them, I literally chose not to get one until I found one that was red and variegated, like had red but then also was actually variegated. So I don't know, that plant just seems like it was a failure, to be honest. The next plant on my list is the Philodendron bipenifolium. This is a plant that I think actually got really popular this year. I actually have one. He's rooting currently. This is the guy. I mean, you're seeing it in a photo next to my face, but to be honest, I just don't think that this guy is that cool, and he's pretty darn popular this year. Like I've seen the prices go up on him. There's a couple different types. There's like a yellow one, and then there's a green one, and then there's a silver one, and people are comparing the silver horse head to the silver sword, but like, no ma'am. But I don't know, that one just like makes me feel weird because I really don't like it when people name plants after animals, and we'll get to that further down the line, but I really hate the whole like horse head philodendron. It's like, yeah, I probably would like the plant if it weren't for the name, to be honest. Okay, actually, we're gonna get to what I was about to talk about right now. My probably least favorite plant of this year, like, and this list is out of order, but definitely, actually no, I'm gonna say definitely, my least favorite plant this year was the Hoya Polynura, which is the fishtail Hoya. And it looks literally exactly like a fishtail, and I hate it. I do not like the look of it at all. The Broguette one is kind of cool because it's got like silver on it, and that does kind of look fun. You're looking it up, Reed?
Yeah. But
I really, oh God, I just hate the shape. I don't know why, and maybe I wouldn't hate it if it wasn't called fishtail Hoya. I mean, I know it's Polynura, like that's its name, but everyone just calls it fishtail Hoya, and it is so ridiculously expensive for what it is. I've heard that they're like really slow growing. My friend Max likes them a lot, and he says they're just like a bigger Curtisii, but I beg to bargain because, is that the phrase?
beg to differ.
Thank you. I beg to bargain. I beg to differ because straight up, the Hoya Curtisii are like little circles, and then they have a little point at the end. The fishtails are like these asymmetrical, like one of them's like, I do not like it. I don't like it. It makes me feel physically gross, just like the Hoya sigillatus, except for that one didn't make this list. Sigillatus sounds like an STD. There, I said it. Someone had to say it. I don't like it, but that one's not even on this list. It'll just be our bonus Hoya that I really didn't like this year. But Hoya Polynura just, that's how it makes me feel. Like that. The next one on my list was actually on my wish list last year, but this year I was like, actually, that's not for me. So the Philodendron Snowdrift, which is actually a really beautiful philodendron when the leaves come in, then turns to kind of like this situation, like a very a very green situation. In all the photos you ever see of Philodendron Snowdrift, it's like pure white with these like pink spots, and it's so beautiful. But then if you ever see them for sale, they're just green. So it's like a Florida ghost situation, except like the shape of the leaf isn't even appealing, especially when it becomes a big plant. So that's one that went from my wish list to my never list to my Denso list.
Wish list to hit list.
Wish list to hit list. Anyways, I don't have that big of a vendetta against it. It's just a really big letdown because all the photos that advertise it show that it stays white, and then plot twist, it actually doesn't. You're buying a green plant. Okay, the next plant on my list are all Aglaonema ever. They look like big plastic plants. People just buy them and throw them in the corner of a dark airport. Or they just like buy them and then they go under a desk, like some terrible dark place. I don't like them. They look like rubber to me. They look like they're made out of silicone. And I don't think, yeah, you should see Reed's face right now. She's like, I don't like them. Literally, like none of the patterns for them are cool, except for one, but it's super rare and hard to find and you're not gonna be able to get it. Genus Aglaonema is on this list for me. I have another one that's like that. Wow, let's talk about Justina. How I say it is Dracana, but when I say that, people want to kill me. So
I get death threats.
I get death threats. Justina. So I'll just say Justina for you. When I remember to. I can't promise that it will be the new thing on this channel, but wow, I just got a irresistible urge to play Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
Your laugh is so funny. Reed goes. Okay, jail plants. Dark corner where it's going to die and get mealybug strips and scale. Now, let's talk about if I had a mansion. If I had a mansion and I needed plants that would fit into a mansion and I didn't have to ever worry about them, then I would probably own a lot of Justina. You guys should see Reed right now. She's like, I need to have a Reed cam. It's like Conan and the guy that he talks to. I'll just cut to your face going,
Andy.
yeah, Conan and Andy. Okay, let's get into the pipers. This is another genus that I have on here, and there are cool pipers, but I just want to talk about how little I understand this genus, and I think that that's why it's on here. Pipers develop these little crystallizations of these like sap on the back of their leaves, and you can wipe them off, but they show up again, and it's not the same as getting little tiny saps on your petioles of your philodendron. It's these hard crystals and they look like bugs on the back of the piper leaves, and it makes me itchy, gives me hives, quite honestly, if I look at it for too long, and it makes me hate the whole plant. It's just you look at it and it's like, oh my god, what is wrong with that plant? Like the first time I ever saw a piper in person, it was in one of my professor's offices, and it was just this pretty leaf on the front with some pink on there, and then the back of the leaf looked like it was just covered in these white scale bumps, and that's what it looks like in it. I'm getting grossed out just talking about it right now. I don't like it. It's totally normal for the plant to do. It's like literally part of what the plant does. But because of that, I'm out. You are not advancing to Hollywood. Sorry, it's just not gonna work for me. I can't have a plant that looks like I always need to scratch something off of it. Ugh. Oh my god, I can't. Anyways, that's pipers. Why I don't really understand them. There is one that I do like. Piper parmatum doesn't do that to my knowledge. It's the pipers that grow like little heartleaf philodendrons that seem to do it the most. Now we have golden pothos, and I know this is like the most controversial plant on this list, probably next to the fishtail Hoya, but I just can't get behind pothos. I think it looks good in other people's homes, but I don't like how waxy the leaves look. I don't like how textured the petioles and the stems are. They just kind of, like my mom just had them everywhere growing up and they were always dying. And I think I just thought it looked so bad as a kid that now, like as an adult, I just can't get behind the golden pothos because my mom just always had dying ones around her house. That was what you did in the 2000s. You just had pothos everywhere and Ficus benjamina and Justina everywhere. And I tried. My friend Natalie got into golden pothos this year and she has a couple of them, but you know, it's just not gonna work out between me and that plant probably ever, and I'm sorry. That's why I think it's so cool now that we have variegated heteroraceum, because it looks like a marble queen pothos, but it's philodendron and it looks way cooler. Okay, the second to last plant on this list is another Hoya, and it's Hoya carrii, and I actually have it right here. And I bought this one actually because I've never seen a Hoya carrii that's this big that's for sale anywhere. Usually they're like $20 for like a one heartleaf cutting, and this one is like $20 for the whole thing, which is kind of crazy. And on top of that, it's a little splashy, I think. If it'll show you. do kind of like this plant, but I absolutely I hate how it grows. The growth pattern is just like these thick, super like thick stems, almost like a tree trunk here. And then it just throws off these petals. And I really like my Hoya to put out leaves that are like super duper close together. And this just looks so barren. Like there's just nothing for like 2 inches on this stem. I don't hate it, but this is definitely like, I did buy this plant this year and it definitely is just not, it's just not one of my favorites this year at all, actually. In fact, I think if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have bought this plant. It just looks so naked. Oh, anyways. Okay, the last house plant on this list is another genus, which is just Marantaceae, or the Marantas. Don't like this genus because it's too hard to take care of and it won't stay alive for me. Also, they're so expensive in Boise. It's like $40 for like a good looking Maranta anywhere you go here, and they only really have like the Maranta lemon lime or the red Maranta. The Maranta leuconura kershowviana is a little bit nicer, especially when you can get the variegated one, but it's just not like you buy it and then bro, the next day it's dead. I don't know, I guess it's kind of just like up to what kind of plants you like to take care of. I like to have plants that I don't have to water them for like 2 weeks and they're gonna be fine. And Marantas are not those plants. They also need really high humidity, and lately I just can't be bothered to fill up my humidifiers. But those are my 10 least favorite houseplants of 2020, and it was actually really hard to sit down and pick out plants that I didn't like from this year, which I'm really proud of, because last year I feel like I was so picky. I was like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And this year I had to really think. Like I had to talk to my friends about it and we had to just like spit out plants, and I was like, oh yeah, that's one that I didn't like. And also this year I just don't think I bought a lot of plants that I don't already know that I like. Like last year, it was my first year being into plants, so I bought a ton of plants and then I realized that I didn't like some of them. But this year I kind of already knew what I liked, and so I didn't buy anything outside of that, which I think is why it was easier this year. So yeah, but thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section down below what your least favorite houseplant was of 2020, or what your top 10 were. I'd love to see full lists and then we can talk about it. But please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at PlantMeAshley. I also have a Twitter. I already said that. Twitter at PlantMeAshley, Instagram at PlantMeAshley. I have merch you can check out. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and this video wasn't made to be negative, just me telling you the plants that I didn't really jive with this year. So I'd love to see which ones you didn't jive with, and then yeah, I'll see you guys. I can't believe that it's been a year. Like I got to make this video last year and now I'm making it again this year. That's pretty fun. Yeah, okay.